the Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
No one told me that.
No one told me that.
No one told me that. In pregnancy highs and lows,
we are tackling the I didn't knows.
It's the No One Told Me podcast
with Janay
and Tay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the No One Told Me podcast. We're really excited to bring you all the discussion that we have today. But before we jump into that, I just want to thank Evergreen Media, right, Janay? Because
these ladies have been amazing with all they've been doing for us.
We are not seasoned podcasters
at all,
but they have seamlessly got us into the studio and comfortable and camera angles and lighting and whatever we need they've had at our disposal. So thank you to Evergreen Media, and that's not sponsored. We just really like them. So but Janay, you got back from vacation not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
Well, 2 vacations. You went to
Arizona,
and
then this weekend we went to New Orleans.
Okay, yeah. So I only asked that because I recently saw an article out of Forbes that talked about how, as time goes on, parents are less likely to take vacations with or without their kids. Mm-hmm. So was this your first vacation without your children?
This is the first vacation now that I have all 3 without them. Everything else has been consistent around them. But, for the majority of Caleb's life, I strictly breastfed him. So it was kind of hard to get away from him.
Okay.
And it was so tough getting him to actually eat foods, because at first it was such a struggle. He didn't like baby food. He didn't like real food. It was just like he just wanted breast milk, and he barely wanted a bottle.
Okay.
So it was a work in progress.
I can see that's definitely hard to take a vacation, obviously, when you're breastfeeding. But do you recommend? Did you miss your kids? Like, do you recommend parents?
Of course, I miss them all the time. But the break was needed.
Yeah,
it really was needed. It's important that mothers find themselves outside of being a mom.
Yeah,
to discover who you are, because every time you have a baby, you have to rediscover yourself again, because you're like, who am I at this point?
Yeah.
And so it's just really important, and it's vital for every parent to take some me time and do some self-care and just focus on yourself and have fun.
Yeah.
Those kids will be there when you get back.
Yeah. You put them in good hands when you left.
Exactly.
Remind me that when I have kids that I need to take more vacations, because I love to travel now. I have a dog, and just the dog, I'm obsessed with him, but I am excited to get away from him on vacation.
It's also important to travel with the kids. Also, don't leave them out. But I'm saying self-care, traveling without them is also great.
Yes. Great point.
Yes.
Well, we are really excited to bring you discussion with Megan McFall, me and Janay's boss, our CEO of Indian River County Healthy Start. Before we start, I do just want to put up a disclaimer. We will be discussing maternal and infant death in this episode. So if you've experienced a recent loss, we're so sorry, and our condolences to you. When you're ready, please reach out to any local resources for bereavement and mental health services. If you are local to Indian River County, please reach out to Indian River County Healthy Start, because we also have provided support for you as well. So that being said, we're going to jump into featuring our guest today, Megan McFall. She is our CEO of Indian River County Healthy Start. And I'm going to read her brief bio before we bring her on air. But before becoming the Chief Executive Officer of Indian River County Healthy Start, Megan McFall served as the Director of Women's Health at Cleveland Clinic Indian River Hospital, and had the joy of running the maternal child health since 2015. She joined the organization in 2009 as a bedside nurse in labor and delivery, and held many different leadership positions within the organization, which include the Director of Professional Development, Surgical Services, Inpatient Cardiovascular Services, and the Clinical Decision Unit. Megan has been happily married to her husband, Carrie, for 25 years, and she will tell you that her biggest life accomplishment is her 2 daughters, Gabrielle, who is an alumni of the University of Florida and recently graduated from Indian River State College with her 2nd undergraduate degree in nursing, and she resides in Atlanta, Georgia, working as a registered nurse in labor and delivery, following after her beautiful mother. And her youngest daughter, Elise, is currently a sophomore at the Illinois Wesleyan University and pursuing a Bachelor in Fine Arts in Musical Theater. So welcome, Megan. We're so
Thanks,
glad to
Taylor.
have you.
I'm so happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
Good. Well, you've been in office, what, almost 90 days now?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Time flies. You've had a seamless transition, and, I feel like our team has really just done a wonderful job of bringing you on. And
Yeah, very welcoming, extremely embracing. Yes, absolutely. It's been great.
good. That's good to hear. Well, with some of your experiences and you've worked directly with Healthy Start for many years because of our partnership with Cleveland Clinic. So now that you're in this role as CEO, what is Healthy Start and what do we do to support our community?
Great question. So interestingly enough, in 1991, Healthy Start coalitions in every single county were formed. And that was because infant mortality in the state of Florida was above the national average. And so the governor at the time just said, we need to do something about this. So that's how Healthy Start was formed. So here in Indian River County, we took what his vision was and have fostered it around what we need in our community. And so our main goal is to just focus on women, children, and families, decreasing infant mortality, focusing on maternal mortality, and just making sure that all women have the best possible outcome. Yeah. We touch 95% of the moms in Indian River County that give birth in this county in some shape or fashion. Mm-hmm. And to me, that is a phenomenal statistic. And within our program, there's something for everyone. Yeah. And that's what I love about Healthy Start. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just encompass one, right, but encompasses all. So when you're looking at the programs that we have, just very 30,000-foot view, we have childbirth education, a home visitation program once you deliver to come visit mom and baby. We have a community doula program, which partnered with the hospital and helped us decrease our cesarean section from 32% to 18%. Yeah. I mean,
it's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
Me and Janay are doulas. Yeah. So love it.
Phenomenal statistics. We have a fatherhood program. Yeah. So we noticed that the other parent is equally as important as the mom. In so many years, we have focused on mom and baby, but leaving that other component out. And we know that those dads are extremely important to the family model.
And that program has been very well received in our
very
community.
Well. I mean, it touches my heart. When I first started with Healthy Start, I had the opportunity to sit in with Mike Squared. So we have two Mikes that run the fatherhood program. So we call it the Mike Squared program. And the work that they're doing and just investing in these fathers, it's phenomenal. So a lot of other programs, I would love to be able to just sit here and talk about all of them, but I know we only have 24 minutes. Yeah. So if you want a broader understanding of what we do, please go to our website, and it goes into every single program that we have in detail. And we're more than happy to talk to you in person about those programs. So.
Absolutely. And Janay, you're community liaison, so they can always reach out to you. You're everywhere all the time.
on all the scenes, I will say. And I love the fact that we don't just stop at English. We cater to the Creole speaking and the Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
Very good point.
I think that's pretty amazing for our organization.
Yeah. Well, some of our listeners, they're not local to Indian River County, so I did want to give a broader scope of some statistical maternal and child health facts that are listed on the CDC website. So anyone can go look at these and a little bit more in depth as well. But maternal deaths in the United States are higher than in any developed nation in the world and more than double the rate in the peer countries. And in regards to infant deaths, in 2020, there was 20,000 infant deaths in the United States. And there's 5 leading causes that they had listed, which include birth defects, preterm birth and low birth weight, sudden infant death syndrome, so known as SIDS, injuries such as suffocation, which is one of the big reasons Healthy Start is a big advocate in educating our community in safe sleep, as well as maternal pregnancy complications. So kind of what I hear from a lot of these is, this really starts at mom's health and mom's education and how to parent once baby's here in Earthside. So, as Healthy Start, we're here to educate our community and provide support to every mom and every family and father in Indian River County. So, in this description that I just read and some of these statistics, what are some of the things we're doing to help combat, these health and educational barriers?
It's a really great question. I could talk about this all day. I'm a registered nurse and love maternal child health. But isn't it sad that this is the statistics in our country? I mean, and interestingly enough, 80% of those births, so 4 out of 5 maternal mortality cases, were preventable.
Right.
And so what does that equate to? You're right, education. Mm-hmm. You can have the most phenomenal medical care in the world, which we know that we do in this country. However, it's the education piece that we're not connecting. Right. And it's why I chose to leave the medical community and come over to the other side, because when you're looking at those outcomes, you're recognizing that it truly is the education, and not just education of the patients, but also making sure that your providers are educated, that they know how to provide care and that addresses, the implicit biases of that you're walking into and bringing when you're caring for those individuals. And so we really need to focus on that education piece. Yeah. Letting moms know pregnancy starts before you even think about getting, healthy pregnancy starts before you even think about getting pregnant. Right. And that preconception health, meaning making sure that you're established with a provider and seeking medical care on a regular basis to make sure that you are the healthiest you that you can be before you even get pregnant. Right. Mm-hmm. Then making sure that you're getting prenatal care in a timely fashion. 22% of the births that we just talked about are during the prenatal period. Yeah. 25% of those deaths are during birth or 7 days after. And then 53% of those deaths are during the postpartum period. I mean, that is a huge amount. And what happens is those moms don't, once they have that baby, what do we focus on? Baby. Right. We don't focus on ourselves. Yeah. And getting that education out that taking care of yourself is also taking care of your baby and making sure that you're getting to your postpartum appointments, because 53% of moms dying during the postpartum phase, we have to educate the moms and let them know it is okay to take care of yourself, because by taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your family. Yeah. So education, and we just have to make sure that we're giving the providers in the community, the patients in the community, all of those educational aspects to completely understand what is needed in order to have the best outcome possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And to all the moms who are listening that are local to Indian River County right now, I mean, I know Healthy Start reaches out to most moms that deliver, at least every mom that delivers at Indian River Hospital, but don't feel like you shouldn't accept help. Like, this is a very vulnerable time. Yes. And, Healthy Start is for every mom. It's something we really like to state because our services are free. You're not taking something away from someone else. We account for every mother in this county and every pregnant mom who we are going to seek support to. And so just feel free to say yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Especially fathers out there.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a parent at all, just if we call you, say yes. So a Healthy Start mission is, obviously to decrease infant mortality, right? There's many causations of infant mortality, and there's many different ways that we're approaching this to combat maternal and infant mortality. So we conduct something called a FEMR, which is our fetal infant mortality review. Yeah. And we have a committee that assesses different cases with our partnership with the hospital. And we determine what some of these causes could have been. Obviously, not everything's as detailed, but, we put 2 and 2 together and piece things so that it kind of makes sense. Okay, there's a gap in support or education here. With this, I know, Megan, you've been very involved even before your time with Healthy Start, in your partnership with the hospital. So what are some of the biggest gaps you find in FEMR, that I know there could be a ton of different things that we implement, but what are some of the biggest things you're seeing in lack of education?
Right. So I think the top top thing is that they're not connected.
Okay.
They're not connected to the community. You know, they are not saying yes to the programs that are available to them. And not just with Healthy Start, but there's so many other programs out there that are available to women, children, and the families in this community. And when you're peeling back those onion layers and looking at all of those deaths, it's truly because they're not plugged in. And you sit there and you think, when you're looking at these cases, if they would have been plugged in, or if they would have had the proper education, if their family members who are caring for those babies, if they would have known, wait a minute, I had children 25 years ago, and 25 years ago, the best practice wasn't to go ahead and put the babies on the back in a crib without a bumper.
Right.
Making sure that everyone is educated, because it's not just the moms and the dads, but there's grandparents and great grandparents and aunts and sisters that are taken care of. So making sure that everyone that's caring for that child is plugged in and has the proper education. So I can't, stress enough about the importance of saying yes.
Yeah. And there sometimes is a misconception that, a lot of these things happen with maybe the more underserved population.
It's not the case.
I know, exactly. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, really great point. And you said something earlier that I thought was that we really need to focus on, is that by saying yes, you're not taking from somebody else. Yeah. This program is for everyone. I was just explaining the other day that one of the physicians that I work with, she said yes to Healthy Start. And one of the things that she said to me is like, I feel like I'm taking. I'm educated and I'm an OBGYN and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm like, do not feel that way.
Yeah.
We have a very generous community that pours into our program and also is state funded. And so every mom needs to say yes. It's not just for the underserved.
Yeah. And I will say, since I've been with Healthy Start, I've been so amazed by the evolution of our organization, because when you embed your employees within your community and you're just like, for instance, I was scrolling on Healthy Start the other day. I was scrolling on Facebook the other day and I saw this mom. She's pregnant and she's an experienced mom. She has a few kids, and she was saying how she accepted the help of Healthy Start with her doula and she loves it. And then there was like so many women on there from the community saying like, oh, you must be talking about this doula. Or I was just like so amazed that, the start of our program from where it was versus where it's going in the direction that it's actually heading. So I just love the fact that we are our community. And so people trust us because it all starts with trust within every community, with every organization. If you don't have the employees embedded in the community, gaining the trust of your community so that they know that, they can follow your lead.
Yeah. It could be a barrier if you don't have that trust.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really proud of the work that's been done within the four walls of our organization. We don't stay within the four walls. Like you said, we are out there. We are.
We have our feet to the ground.
I'm constantly texting someone, hey, I'm here. If you need me, just give me a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are all over. Oh, yeah.
Very good. Well, as a medical professional and now CEO of Healthy Start, what would be your biggest tip to a new mom, or even a new mom and dad? Sure. Or a new or a seasoned mom and dad. So someone who has kids. What would be your biggest tip?
So as a mom myself of two young adults, and then being a part of hundreds, I would say maybe even thousands of births, my biggest thing is, and this is going to sound so cliche, but it truly does take a village.
Yeah.
You cannot do it on your own. You cannot. I mean, I have great kids who are really successful and grounded, but that is not because of just the soul work of myself and my husband. It is because we surrounded ourselves with a village, and Healthy Start wants to be a part of that village. I mean, and it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's okay to say yes. And it's okay to even say, like, I'm not doing okay. Yeah. I'm not bonding with this baby.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
It is. It's so hard. But I mean, I'm not even there yet. And I was like, that's hard to think, because you want to put on this, facade that you're strong and you can do it all. But the reality is you've never been through some of this before, so you need support.
Right.
You do.
And the problem is we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about the hard stuff, right?
No
we don't
one
talk
told me.
Correct.
Yeah.
No one told me about
and
that.
so we just need to normalize that,
Right.
and to say it is okay to say yes to the help. It is okay to reach out and say, I don't know how to do this, or I'm struggling with postpartum depression, or, you know, my husband has no idea what to do, and do you have something for him? I'm struggling with breastfeeding. Whatever the case might be, it is just accept those services, ask for help, because again, it takes a village.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love how the community now knows that we're not there to judge. We're there to just be that supporting hand that every parent needs.
Yeah.
So that's,
I'm glad you brought that up, because someone in the community was like, you guys really advocate breastfeeding. And she's like, I just couldn't, and I feel bad that I couldn't. And I was like,
Gosh,
don't feel bad that you couldn't. We advocate breastfeeding because, one, it's from you. You know, it's the healthiest thing your baby can have. But that does not mean it's the best thing that's for you, right?
you know what I always tell parents, Taylor, I always say fed is best, whether that's breast, bottle, or formula, get that baby fed.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just what it boils down to at the end of the day. That's the most important thing. Is the baby fed? Is the baby healthy? Is the baby happy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a strong advocate for that as well, especially in the, being on the medical side as well. It's if you want to do this, we are here to help support you.
Right.
But you never want to have a mom that
Right.
feels
that way.
guilty over
I felt
that.
so bad for her, because I was like, that
Mom guilt is the worst.
I know.
Let it go.
It really
Let it
is.
go.
I even do
If
this
you
with my dog,
attempted to
man.
do it, hey, you took that step. You tried to initiate it. If it didn't work out, at the end of the day, your baby was fed and it's happy. That's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah, I know. That mom guilt, we need to just wipe that clean. I have a dog, and I still have mom guilt from a dog if like something goes wrong with him.
We're going to hold your hand and help you through it. Okay.
We're here seeing a small glimpse of what my time as a mom true mom will be.
So we just want the community to know, if you're not located within the Indian River County community and you're looking for resources to educate yourself on having a successful pregnancy, delivery, and postpartum period, we actually have some resources that we could recommend. So you can also reach out to us still, and we can see what community that you're located within, because our doula program, we actually are going from city to city within the state of Florida.
Yes.
Training each Healthy Start Coalition on our doula program. So we know that whichever program you're near, we can recommend it, or maybe we know a partnering doula service, or, fatherhood program, motherhood program, whatever it is that you guys need help. Don't feel like you can't reach out to us just because you're not within our community. And we would also like to thank Megan so much for attending our first show. We would also like to thank all of our watchers. We hope that you stay tuned and continue this journey with us. And if there are any topics that you would like for us to touch that maybe we don't necessarily talk about, feel free to DM us on any of our social media platforms, or you can send me an email directly to Janay at irchealthystart.org. And we ask that you stay tuned for more episodes next month. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to the first podcast of No One Told Me with Janay and
Tay.
Well, as closing, I just want to thank the both of you for doing this, right? Yeah. Like you said, you're not seasoned podcasters, but you knew the importance of getting the information out into the community. So thank you very much for putting this on the forefront and making it important
easy for us.
Yeah.
I feel like the conversation was very fluid. It was great.
yes.
Awesome.
All right. We'll see you next time, guys.
All right, guys.
Alrighty, sweet.